Hi there everybody, and welcome to another video. On today's video I have my Mercedes S-Class here, the S350 diesel version, and I'm gonna be changing the air filters in this car. So there are two air filters, as this is a V6 engine. This model is a 2012, by the way, the W221, and it takes two filters. I'm using this MAN filter. They are quite good usually. I got this out of Amazon, so I'll put a link in the description. It is an affiliate link, so obviously if you buy through the link, I do get some sort of commission, but it doesn't affect how much you pay for the filter. It's still the same price, or you can look for another one for yourself. There are other makes. I think the previous one that I fitted in this car was a blueprint one. So anyway, let's get on with the fitting of the filters. So that's just the box there. The actual filters are here, and it is two of them, so we'll get them out in a second. The first thing to do is obviously to open the bonnet. There is a lever, a red lever sitting under the driver's side dash, which you pull to get this bonnet open. We then come to the engine here and we pop this cover out like so. And my ignition is on because I was checking something on the on the full codes, but it's disappeared. It's no longer there, so I've got no full codes at the moment, which is really good news, because I was having this full code related to an air leak or something like that. But the other day I was checking all the sensors and I unplugged them all, replugged them, and somehow the fault hasn't come back. So I also removed all these, so it may have something to do with that. I may have had a small air leak or something. So anyway, getting back to the air filters, and I'll show you, I'll put a link to these diagnostics that I'm using as well. Etiag. It's a tiny little, it's a Bluetooth device, and I'll put a link below as well, so you can have a look at that if you're interested. It can check most cars. You can get live data. You can get quite a lot of information. It checks everything, the transmission, so it checks all the fault codes. Right, so to get to these filters, I'm just gonna get we're gonna need a Torx bit size 30, so I'm gonna get that now. Okay, I got my tools. I've got a flathead screwdriver. We might not really need that, but just in case. I've got a reverse Torx. It's an E10. I've got this is a T20, but really you need a T25 and the T30 here. So we're just gonna start, in this case, on the driver's side. And what we need is to loosen this Torx screw there and the one on that side. So that's what we need our T30 for. And just be careful not to drop those screws, because if you drop them, they will be gone forever. You'll never be able to find them again. Very typical. And whenever I said don't drop those screws, I normally end up dropping them. So that's why sometimes I have to be careful what I say. Right, so I'm just pushing those clips out. They can be a little bit hard. That's why sometimes I use a screwdriver, or you can pull them out, but just to make your life a little bit easier. And the E10, it's for this bolt here, which we also need to release. Okay. just put it to one side, or you can either take it out. Sometimes it comes out like this, whole one piece, and then we should be able to just be careful. There is a gasket in there, so try not to damage anything. So just carefully remove that. That's my filter there. It has seen better days, but I think, yes, that was a blueprint. I mean, if you wanted to get a blueprint one, I can add a link to that as well. Maybe, maybe not. That is a blueprint ADU 172246 91941243. So on one of these filters you have that plugged in, and that measures the air coming into the intake. It measures the temperature and whatnot. So this side, it's for this side, and this one is for that other side. Okay, it's a little bit windy today. Everything is flying off. And now we can fit that in there. And I would recommend you can put a little bit of grease around this O-ring, or a little bit of WD-40, just to make it easier to slide that in there without damaging it. So that would help out. So I'm gonna get a little bit of WD-40 here, just to spray it there, make my life a little bit easier. Okay, so just put a little bit of some sort of lubricant around here. This one I'm using is similar to WD-40. It's just a slightly different one. Right, now we can move on to the other side. We finished with that side. We can now move on to this side. And on this side, we don't really need to use the E10. And also, I realized I'm using my electric ratchet, but we can use a ratchet to undo those screws. It's just that I use it, obviously it's a bit faster, but you can then remove those two torques. Also, we'll open that, and we'll open this one. We can remove this sensor. So I went and changed my torque bits. I actually got the T25 now, so it fits properly. same idea. And make sure that sort of there's like a rubber gasket there. Make sure it's sitting properly, and also do make sure that when you fit this in, it also sits properly on that, because it has to sort of create some sort of seal. It's not perfect, but it does what it has to do. So be careful with this, because if you over tighten those, because they're only screwing into plastic, so if you over tighten it, it's just going to go around, and the plastic below will get damaged, and then it won't secure properly. So it should slide in there. It's got a little O-ring as well. So we could just add a little bit of lubricant. Right, so those again, they're only going into plastic, so don't overdo them. And with that said, we're pretty much done here. All we have to do now is put our cover back on, and it's a job done. So we could just start the engine before we close everything, just to make sure everything sounds good and it's running smoothly. So that sounds good to me. And now we just put the cover back on, and happy days. So having said that, I hope the video helps. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask me, and I will reply with an answer if I can. And also check out the links below. I'll try and put links to all the tools that I used today, so you can easily have a look at them and buy them if you need them. So thank you for watching.